Greetings and salutations, love squires. I'm Prince Amari, and I help Black gay singles level up their love lives. I'm a gay relationship coach, matchmaker, and hypnotherapist who helps clients enhance their relationship skills, improve their confidence, and neutralize their subconscious patterns of self-sabotage through the alchemical power of hypnosis. In this video, which is for anybody regardless of sexual orientation, gender, etc., we're going to talk about how to prevent your biases from impacting your ability to find true love, okay? First of all, what is a bias, right? A bias is a prejudice for or against something compared to something else. So an example, if we have apples and oranges, and you have a preference for apples, but not oranges. If it's just a preference compared to a bias, if there are no apples, you will still eat the orange. If there are no apples, but you will not eat the orange, you might have a bias against oranges, all right? And so how do we know if it's a bias versus, say, a non-negotiable need, for example? What we have to do is ask ourselves, why won't we eat the orange? And so if you, for example, have an allergy to citrus, you don't have a bias, you have a non-negotiable. So if there's a viable reason that anybody who had the same situation couldn't actually eat the orange, then it's a non-negotiable. But if there's not an actual reason other than I just want something different, so I'm not gonna take that, that's likely a bias. Now let's apply this to the dating world. We're gonna take a look at the 5 crucial components of compatibility, because these are the things that you really need from a partner in order to be happy for the long term. I have a nice handy dandy little acronym that I created, MATCH. So first of all, M is mission and values. So your values are what make life worth living. This is what you value, yeah? Your mission is what you're here to do. Your mission and values form, they intersect to form the foundation of your lifestyle, right? So this is why we often look for lifestyle fit when we're trying to find someone who's a good match for us, because it's an easy shorthand for compatible values, which are the #1 component of compatibility for the long term, okay? A is attraction, and this is specifically physical attraction. Yes, you have to be attracted to your partner. If you're not attracted to your partner sexually, physically, guess what? You're just friends. So everybody's, triggers for attraction are different, but when you meet someone, you want to identify, if you can, what makes you attracted to someone physically. For some of us, we connect first on a mental level before the physical attraction starts to build. For others, we have an immediate visceral response physically, but again, check the response, because your loins are just a thermometer, not a GPS. However, if you're attracted to, say for example, in the past, you have a pattern of attracting people who aren't good for you. Maybe you attract toxic relationships or emotionally unavailable men or women or whatever, right? If that's your pattern, often when you experience that visceral sense of attraction, it's just telling you that this person fits my pattern. And so you always have to measure your level of attraction for a person with whether or not you share the same values, and together that'll give you a really good indicator of if this person is good for you. So T is temperamental synergy, and this is really about your personality compatibility. You don't have to have the same personality types, don't have to have the same temperaments, but you do have to be able to mesh. You have to be able to respect your partner. You have to be able to be willing to understand them, to put yourself in their shoes, to be interested in really getting to know them on that deeper level. That's temperamental synergy. C is the capacity to meet your needs. We all have certain physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, material needs that our partner has to have the current capacity to fulfill. If we fall for their potential instead of their capacity, we set ourselves up for failure, because potential may not develop in the next 5 years, 20 years, or even in this lifetime. You can't bet on potential. What you can bet on is capacity now. And yes, we're all gonna grow and change, but the core of who we are stays the same. And so someone who has the capacity to meet your needs now to ensure that they have the capacity to do so in the future. H stands for hazard free. This means no deal breakers. Okay, the person doesn't have any of your actual deal breaker. That is what a deal breaker is. It's not just like, oh, it's annoying because he doesn't put the toilet seat down or because he turns the tissue the wrong way. Those aren't deal breakers, right? Those are annoyances, perhaps, but not deal breakers. A deal breaker is something like maybe you're allergic to smoke. So if the person smokes, that's a deal breaker for you because you're literally allergic. So I can't date someone who's a smoker because I'm allergic to smoke. No deal. Deal breaker means no deal. Hazard means be careful, this is dangerous, right? So we don't want any danger in our long-term relationship. Life is already gonna throw you enough curveballs and sketchy situations on its own. You don't want to choose a partner who's gonna create that, right? So those are the 5 crucial components of compatibility: mission and values, attraction, temperamental synergy, the capacity to meet your needs, and hazard free. You don't know if you're gonna be attracted to someone until you see them or experience their energy. And so we're not talking about they have to have these characteristics in order for me to be attracted. We're talking about the feeling of attraction there, okay? As you're swiping on dating apps or meeting people in person, notice the reasons you say yes versus the reasons you say no. If you say no because of their race, that's a bias. Because the things you need from a partner to be happy, you can find in any race of people. And again, there's nothing wrong with having a preference. But when your preference is preventing you from being happy, that's when it becomes a problem. Biases get in the way of our own happiness because it's a prejudice against choices that could actually be good for us. So if you want to learn more about me or connect with me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram or YouTube at Prince Amari, Princeamari. Love, peace, and glitter.